I'll explain later. Hold on.
They should have become my wife purely due to pregnancy. And I told them I would not make a lifelong decision about who I'm going to spend the rest of my life with purely based on pregnancy. I said we can continue to explore, to date. I would like to move in with you. We have to learn more about each other before we decide to spend the rest of our lives together. And they arrogantly said, it ain't going to work that way. I need to be your wife, and I need to be your wife now. Had they been a little bit more patient, my daughter's mothers felt they should have become patient and humble with me. Either one, they would have became my wife. I don't know if they know that. They know it now because they're going to see this. Right. If they would have just been a little bit more respectful of where I was coming from, they would have got married. I would have married either one because they were the mothers of my daughter.
These pandering dudes.
Patient and humble with me. Either one, they would have became my wife. I don't know if they know.
What's wrong with Dr. Umar?
I'm not even calling him doctor anymore, man.
Okay.
Because I'm so sick of these fuck boy. We just started.
Go ahead.
My bad. These dudes be coming in, and they always kicking black men back in. Y'all don't love the black woman. You don't respect the black woman. Yada yada yada. Right? To get an audience of black women behind them to promote whatever it is that they're going to promote. And this dude is sitting here saying, yeah. So okay, again, right? We've said this many times on this pod. Mm-hmm. You willing to make a baby with somebody, which is a lifelong commitment, versus marrying somebody, which is not. Marriage does not have to be a lifelong commitment.
Absolutely.
Marriage only becomes a lifelong commitment if you have children.
Absolutely.
That's when it becomes, because when you have children, you can't get away from it. I don't care. Like, bro, I have seen people that have divorced and their kids are grown. Mm-hmm. They still got to deal with one another, bro. That's low key like kind of scared me into being like, yo, like I don't want to have a 27-year-old child and I'm still interacting with my child's mother, right? Because if anything happens with the child has a child. Yeah. If there's a holiday, if someone gets sick, it's like you still got to interact with that other parent. I was like, man, I don't want to be like pissed off at somebody for 35 years.
Yeah. And what's funny is when I do weddings, and it's always fun to see like the bride or the groom's parents who are no longer together, and when they actually gets better when they're remarried, and to see them interact.
Yeah.
And it's always beautiful when I could tell like, yo, they parents have great relationships.
Yeah.
And it usually comes when both people are with somebody else.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, all right, cool. And I didn't see some parents, I'm like, all right, y'all get a little too drunk on the dance floor, y'all gonna think y'all still married. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, we've been cussed out, we've lost friends, we've lost listeners. We have told people for, I don't know, 3 years.
At least.
This is probably before I even had a kid.
Yeah.
It probably got thrown out by you, but like, yo, you have a kid with somebody, you stuck with them.
You stuck with him. So this dude sitting here acting like he can't talk to his daughter. People are coming online and saying, not people, mofo, your daughter. Like you are a terrible human being, man. And again, per usual, these panda bears, whenever they come online, and it's just this continual, black men not doing. Like it never fails that they are the worst type of men.
What's the odds of Dr. Umar being performative?
It's like 99% right now. I mean, he hasn't built the school. Everything that he tells you not to do, he do. Yeah. He's running to Nick Cannon's pod all the time. I think this was even on Nick Cannon's pod. I think, not sure.
I didn't see.
But it's like, he's running on, Nick Cannon's a high earner, but Nick Cannon's also creating a bunch of broken homes. Mm-hmm. So it's like, water finds its level, and at the end of the day, that's who Umar is. I'm Pastor Mike Will.
Now I am Gavin B. Welcome to service. Sit down. This man said he gonna score 30 today. He don't care what happened. We back.
We back. You're in a jam. Hit me up. I'll get you out.
Trying to save black men.
We give black men a place to be seen, a place to be heard.
Sometimes I gotta push back because be lying.
They do, but so do women. So that's what makes the pod cool.
Strap in. It's about to be fun. Now let's begin. Y'all, I want to welcome everybody to the Black Dads Club. That's your host over there, Pastor Mike. I am Gavin B. We do need to figure out. I'm gonna let everybody vote. My name has to either be Gavin B or I am Gavin B. Y'all gotta let me know. Somebody said we're inconsistent. We, as in me, am inconsistent on what I want my name to be. This is episode 173 of the Black Dads Club, hosted by, paid by, catered to, NoGrease Barbershop Premium in Northlake Mall. Go by there today. They got I don't care when you listen, they have midweek $5 drink specials, which one day I need to just pop in and get me a drink.
Just grab a drink for real.
If it's $5, that's why I wanted them to go up to Huntersville, like in Birkdale, them little drinking areas.
Yeah.
Boy, I'd be over there.
They have a $5 drink. We definitely need to pop in midday, have a drink with the fellas.
Or Ed can let us just do our pod there one day if he had a little back room. But we need.
He might be out tomorrow. You coming out tomorrow? Well, you ain't got you don't have a sitter. Well, I'm not in town. Okay.
For those who not know, my wife is gone for 7 weeks. That means I am taking any food donations, any babysitting hours. If you want to just check in on me, shout out to Ann. Hopefully Ann hits me up. She usually hits me up like one time and be like, yo, y'all need something to eat. My sister don't ever check on me. My mom laughs. Women like to see men in pain because they think we can't get through it. But, my kid, we going to be out today. We're going to go to South End.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you ain't doing eat out the whole time.
Absolutely. And I just got paid for a couple weddings I ain't did yet.
Oh, definitely. There it is. There it is. No, you not cheap.
We might go to Eddie V's tonight.
Right? No, you not cheap. Like, goodness, the couple weddings.
Hey, look, absolutely. Oh, yeah. You know what? We getting back. I think so far this year, I got 10 weddings. That's mine. And maybe like 4. That's other people's I'm helping with.
Yeah.
So it's a good time, man. People getting married, you know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing to see. People getting pregnant. It's a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, life is good, man. Dad tip of the week. Yo, sometimes you got to be the bigger man.
Oh, for sure.
Sometimes you just got to say bump it for the sake of somebody else. Let me be the bigger man and clear the air and make some shit shake.
Exactly.
And personally for me, I had to do that. And it was great. You know what I'm saying? I fell out with somebody yesterday, honestly. We sat down for like an hour. We came over. It was just like, as men, this is what happened, what didn't happen. And it was cool. It's been like too long. And it was for the sake of other family that I'm just like, yo, let me clear this up. So I would say to anybody, man, clear everything up. And also, sidebar. I don't care if you listening. If you got a grandparent, go see them. If you got kids, make sure they go see their grandparents.
Yeah.
Nothing is harder than like watching my grandparents get older on both sides and being like, damn, both of my grandmothers have been here forever, right?
Yeah.
And I think I remember them at age 5 in my life. And so for me, it's like, damn, my kid is approaching 4. My nephew's 11. They've been around their great grandparents so long. And it's like, damn, it's going to be a day that they're not here. So if you got grandparents, man, please go see them.
Yeah, see your grandparents. Check on your parents. Happy birthday to my pops.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, birthday was on Sunday.
Killer.
And low key, I almost forgot. I ain't even gonna lie. I almost forgot, man. I got so much going on in life. And it goes to dad tip of the week. Stop treating our dads worse than we treat our mothers.
Oh, well, that's that's embedded in life.
I know it's sort of culture, man, but it's like, my pops is getting older. And I was just like, man, we're not as like, it's not as much chatter when it's his birthday versus when it's my mother's birthday. And that is definitely a fault of, that's me and my siblings. I'm not saying that's society, but I'm saying in case you guys are similar to us, like, let's do a little bit better than that. Because dads hold it down.
Yeah, we do. Unfortunately, and we're going to get into some of some of this stuff is on men. And a lot of stuff is on us.
It is, but it's on us in the sense to, one of the things that I've started saying, it's like, as men, we're not strict enough, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's better than saying we're not mean enough, but we're not strict enough. We don't hold the line. Yeah. We let a lot of stuff go because if we say, hey, this bothering me, this kind of hurt my feelings, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, you're a man. Like, why does that bother you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, it's like, yo, we do have feelings just like everybody else. So as men, we do have to recognize like the way you squashed it with that person, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty sure they felt better. And hell, you might have felt better, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of it. And it's like, we do need to start doing the little things that make us feel better.
Absolutely, man. We've been missing.
Speaking of feeling better, how was Vegas?
Yo, shout out to the city. Somebody must have put the word in the air that I was touching down. So I love Vegas. Vegas was cool, man. It's just too much sin out there. Like, it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went there and I told, Wednesday morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. I'm staying at Park MGM.
Yeah.
And so they gave me the side of the mountain, which is beautiful. my dad, as a child, my dad always like emphasized like watching sunrises.
Yep.
No matter what. And so it was cool because I get to see the sun come over the mountain, right? And it was a beautiful thing. It had just snowed there a week before. So it's still snow in the mountains, you can see. And then I woke up Wednesday, 5. I contemplated to go run, but I didn't. I did run one day out there, but like I contemplated it and I was like, you know what? 7 o'clock, got on the phone with American, said, get me home. And my flight wasn't till 10 that night. And you know what? Shout out to the airline lady at the older black woman at the airport when I was trying to get on standby. You suck. You like.
I thought you was about to give a compliment.
They need to retire you. Whoever is at the Harry Reid International Airport, the older black lady with the gray locks, retire her tomorrow. That is the most negative person I've ever encountered in the airport. And I don't fly enough. So that's one thing. I probably take like 4 or 5 flights a year.
Yeah.
Bro, I walk in, I'm trying to understand why my bag I can't print off tags.
Yeah.
And it made total sense. You're trying to get on standby. You need to go speak. And I'm trying to explain this to her. First of all, she gave me like she literally put her arms out, but she had a mask on. So I'm assuming like, oh, she doesn't want to get close. Maybe she's sick or something. Cool, bet. And so she's like, you're not going to make the plane. I don't know why you're trying to do whatever. I'm like, sis, I'm trying to understand something. And then I'm like, yo, can you help me? I don't understand. And then she was like, you're not going to make it. Your flight's not to 10 at night. So you might as well just leave and come back. And I'm like, okay. Then these 2 white women come up and they start dropping F-bombs immediately when they get up to baggage.
Yeah.
And you would have thought these women were threatening her. This black woman jumped on me. She put her hands on me like she was trying to hug me. And she was like, oh, they're doing too much. I don't want to be near them. I'm like, you was just arm's length from me.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
She's a weirdo.
She is.
And
then,
we're gonna talk about weirdo women today.
Well, and I was just like, yo, but other than that, man. And then I just left her, went to the man at the table. I explained to him what was going on. He was like, yo, you on standby. You're good. He was like, you're going to make this flight. Go ahead. And I'm just like, y'all need to get rid of her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She got to go.
It
doesn't sound like it was great leaving.
Not, but the time there, I'll put it like this. So I went to WPPI, it's a photography conference, and that was a cool experience. Did not see either one of our girls who checked me from the pod.
Yeah.
They did not run a shout out to Dana and or Diana. I don't know how to say your name. And shout out to Tamaya. I don't know how to say your name. Shout out to them. I didn't see one of y'all. I was looking for one of y'all. You know what I realized? I think a lot of people think I'm an asshole. So sometimes when the opportunity presents itself, I want to clear it up. And so I wanted to go to Tamaya, Dr. Coven, actually. I wanted to go to her and be like, yo, I'm not as bad as you think. Also, I do believe I need to show people I'm not as short as they think. Because I think some of y'all think because I'm skinny, I must be short, and you going to roll up on a 4'8", 5'2", 5'5" photographer and think like shit going to be sweet. But I just kind of want to let her know like, yo, sis, I love you. Like, you know, just don't believe you who you say you are. And so didn't see her, didn't see Diana. I seen behind the scenes of Diana in the desert, man. The photo walk looked like I was right on saving my money. And that's a shot for you faking that you was gonna sue us and then blocking us. I don't like some of y'all. Sorry, I'm about to get angry. But other than that, Vegas was cool. Shout out to Blondies. They took care of me every day. Trash sports bar, but I love it.
They don't really have a good. They used to be a good sports bar there. Not 4040. It was a different one. But I think now it's the pool. It's one of the pools that has like the huge screen now. Probably worth going out there at some point. But I don't like wasting money going to domestic trips when I can go out of the country.
You see, that's my problem with you. Let's go ahead and start with you. It's certain places I like going that if you would say, yo, man, you want to take a trip here? I'd be like, yes. But you don't ever want to do that no more. You like to go through airports that have terrible like ways about them.
Yeah,
even worse.
Yeah, I had to go through customs. We'll figure it out. Look, when we get self-employed, man, when the pod takes off at the end of this year, because I do believe for episode 200, boom, we're gonna get there. Merch gonna be gone, pod's gonna be gone.
Cool.
We did a good job on the other pod. I listened to it when you dropped it in there.
Shout out to We Talk Back podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Go listen to us on there.
Yeah, we sounded great on there. So it's like, I know we're quality. So we just gotta take off, and then I can end up in Vegas. But I can't.
Cool.
I can't waste my kid-free week in Vegas, bro.
With all the cocaine and everything else that's out there.
I can't do it, man.
Well, Where you go would be cocaine too.
That's what they say. I'm not on coke.
Me either.
I'm not. I don't do any drugs, to be honest.
Me either. That's the
drink.
other thing. Yeah, I need to work on that. And it was funny when I was in Vegas. I was talking to somebody and they were just like, I was like, yeah, I don't do any drugs, and they was just like, you just like this?
Yeah. I'm raw dogging it. This is facts. Like I don't.
Nigga.
And the thing is, I used to like smoking, but y'all done made the weed too strong. I don't like it. It's Everclear of weed, man. Like, yo, can y'all tamper this thing back to where it was in 1998? Like, good Lord. Like we did like smoking, right? It was like a community thing. Like you sit around and you smoke. You know what I'm saying? Smoke come out of the apartment. Y'all be smoking now. Y'all be like, okay, you take 2 puffs and then you put it out. Like, what was the point?
Because they be high already.
Man, I can't. I'm not a drug person.
Yo, what's your morning routine? You wake up, what happens?
Yeah, I have added the ice facial.
Gosh, here you niggas go.
I have added the ice facial. I'm like, you know what? That seems legit. But my morning routine, man, I wake up, make a good cup of coffee, and then I ease into my day. But I will say, the ice facial I've added, I'm going to do it before I go live tonight. I'm telling you.
If you get on live and you do an ice facial, I am going to.
I'm not going to do it on live. I do it before I go on live.
I want it on the
You want it on live? I got to get one. I got to get a glass. I got to get a Pyrex first. Yeah, if I get a Pyrex, I actually open up with that every night. Like real talk, I was like, you know what? My skin is a little bit tighter and shinier. Like, okay, not a bad idea.
So if you don't know, I think his name is Ashton Hall.
Yeah, Ashton Hall. Actually, is it Holloman or Hall? I can find it real quick. Hall.
He's been he's starting a trend that is apparently he actually. Oh, my wife's trying to call me. Apparently, he stole this trend of actually. Will and Polite. There's a trend of like going on of your morning routine.
Yeah.
And so he started his morning, what was it, 4?
Yeah, it was like 4 a.m. I mean, I don't think it was actually 4 a.m.
All of this is lies.
Yeah, everything.
I'm going to give y'all the truth.
Yeah, it was like 3:56, I think. And he just goes through his day.
And by 10 o'clock, he's done more than what I do in 3 days.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was funny. And like, look, now the funny part was he was like, "Yo, people are stealing my idea," when he actually stole it from somebody.
Yeah, that's what. That's what like Twitter.
That's the funny part. But I like it. Like one of the things, and like I know I have to get used to this on social media and being a public figure because I literally forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I give you a good example. We was out Saturday. One of my friends had got a section where it was like, "Hey, come out." Mm-hmm. So I go out to the day party. And like people are like looking at me in my face, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is everybody looking at me in my face?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
shout out to the pot.
Yeah. So and then like like I'm telling like one of my homegirls, she's like, how was it? I was like, a lot of women kind of was like me mugging me. And I was like, I didn't really understand.
We just had a clip go viral. So
yeah, and then she was like, that was her point. She was like, yeah, dude. She was like, they know who you are. You be saying wild stuff. So they probably looking at you trying to figure out, yo, is that the Pastor Mike will do? And I was like, yo, I didn't even consider that. Like, I didn't even think of that. I was like, you probably right. And they probably were like, yo, is that? Is that dude right there? So what I'm saying is, I haven't gotten used to that yet.
Yeah.
And like, I like the fact that he leans into it.
Well, I like the fact of, let me tell y'all what I love about this. I love when I think people are trolling us on purpose.
Yes.
Now I don't agree with comparing yourself to Jesus and his little thing.
Yeah, that was a little too far.
And you're gonna pay for that one day.
Feeling yourself a little too much.
You're gonna figure it. What they always say, the number one thing they like doing, the number two thing they like doing is building somebody up. The number one thing is tearing them down. So you get ready, buddy.
Yeah.
But like I like him trolling us. Like, all right, y'all stealing my trend. No. Yeah. I like him lying. Bro, let me tell everybody this. He woke up, he had LED lights ready, his skin was oiled up, he found somewhere to put tape. His day did not start at 3 something.
No.
Like the camera is set up. Just to let y'all know, this was filmed at probably like 8 o'clock.
I'm about to say, it was probably, I was going to say 10 o'clock. It was probably filmed at like 10 o'clock.
This is a lie upon lies. Also, ladies, we all know that he's suspect or sus. Like, I don't know why y'all think y'all telling somebody something.
And stop using it as an insult.
Yeah, because nobody cares.
Nobody cares anymore.
He wearing a Van Cleef bracelet. Get that back to the girls. The girls want their Van Cleef bracelets back, and they want to do the Get Ready With Me videos back.
I am willing to give that back if they give us back Colombia. They ain't giving that back. Give us back, because look, y'all had Jamaica, you had Italy, like
the DR, they had that.
You got Punta Cana.
Yeah, they splitting that.
Yeah, so it's like, look, you never hear a man say, "I'm going down to Kingston for the rafts," right? We have given that to y'all. That is y'all's. Y'all can have that. You never hear men say, "I want to go to Italy," right?
Never.
We have given that to y'all. All right.
They can't afford Italy, so they
get out of Cartagena, Medellin. Get out.
They're not going.
We want that back.
Lex and Dre about to go down there.
They already been like, so the funniest, I follow both of them. I saw when they was down there. So, but I didn't know that they was filming for their show or whatever. Hey, and congrats to them, man. Big come up by them, and they last 18 months have been amazing, meteoric.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what they do. That's why I wrote in the group chat. I'm like, congrats to them. I didn't know that was Colombia. I just looked and I was like, oh gosh. I just figured, I'm like, Colombia's gonna be on their list. Because the girls let me tell you something. Women love places that's cheap and got good food. I didn't like Colombia's food the best.
Colombia, you don't go to Colombia for the food. You're not going there for the hot sauce. I promise you. That's not why you're going.
So, but I think the ladies, once they get down there and figure out the food ain't all that, they're gonna come back home.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, stop going. Here's the thing. If women actually wanted to go to Colombia and enjoy Colombia, you go to Bogota. The fact that you're in Medellin and Cartagena lets me know that you really just being nosy.
Oh, facts.
You are really, because Bogota actually has decent food, and it's actually cheaper. Cheaper than all the cities. Like, dude, my Uber was like $1.12.
Love it.
I was like, come on, man. I was like, is this for real, for real? Like, the food was cheap, and it was good because it is an international city and it's a government enclave. A lot of other governments around the world has their headquarters there. So you can find good food in Bogota. I will say, like, you don't go to Cartagena for the food. Or the aesthetic. I mean, Wall City is cool.
What's some ass there? You said never mind.
Aesthetic. All right, are we deep enough in the pod that your wife done fell off?
Oh, she ain't listening to this shit. I did tell her how I got sexually assaulted down there. Sometimes you hold on. See, she ain't gonna come on the pod. Hold on. See, I gotta call you back. We on the pod.
Oh.
You live.
Don't say nothing crazy.
Gotta clip it.
Bye. CB listening. She was like, I was listening to Mike's live, so I have some suggestions. Anyway, I have to tell women that men get sexually assaulted just so they don't think like what Melissa Ford did. We're gonna get to you in a little bit, sister, where you just think that, y'all scared of the bear. Y'all rather take the bear than a random. So
yeah, we gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
But I have to remind women. So I have to tell my wife, I'm like, yeah, I got sexually assaulted down there. So I want the bear too. All right? Damn it. Give me the bear. Damn it. All right, before we get off of this person.
Wait, morning routines though. We gotta finish up.
Oh, yeah, I was staying on him.
Okay.
Well, first of all, my morning routine is this. 7:30 I wake up. 7:08 I get up. I scroll Instagram to 7:25. I get up, go get my kid, trust that he pees correctly in the toilet when he goes to the bathroom, get him dressed, and I take a shower, and I hope to be out the house by 8:15. I come here and I pod.
Yeah.
Beside pictures.
How do Ashton Hall goes viral? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it partly the disdain for black males that kind of help push to the point? I mean, because it's the most viral clip right now.
We want to tell the truth or we want to lie?
We'll tell the truth. We want to tell the truth.
Let me tell you how he gets live. And this is hate from somebody who said they used to try to be his publicist. Apparently, he's been trying to do this since college to get famous.
Yeah.
I think, and I got to get, I'm assuming he's gay. Okay? This is a bad assumption.
This is a terrible assumption.
I don't know this about this man.
You need to give like the reason and like why.
Well, I told you, the Van Cleef bracelet, you ordered up, you doing the getting ready with me videos. That's what all the ladies do. You doing that, and he looks sassy in his follow-up video, and he was saying sassy stuff. I'm not saying that is a bad thing.
Yeah, he definitely was sassy.
What I'm saying is that community will support their own to push them forward.
Okay, all right.
Don't believe me? Look how Lil Nas X became a musical artist when he was just trolling online.
I'll follow you.
I say that. So what happens is somebody like him comes and does something overly, like, just over the top.
Yeah.
And I always tell y'all, you put your camera on 2.8 f-stop, you get the blurry background, you use LED lights. That's why I keep doing this here. I don't know.
2.8 f-stop.
Yeah, if you do that, your shit will take off. And so I think it's something so egregious. And it's doggone water.
Is it the woman bowing to him and like cleaning up behind him?
I don't even think. I think people that was just like too far gone at that point in the video. Like
they were already heated.
They were just I think people was heated. The girls was mad about their bracelets, but he got a community. I'm assuming who's behind him. Like, yo, this is dope because everybody think it's just funny. Like
he's at 9 million followers now.
Oh yeah, he's out of here. Now this gets to what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
I'm tired of black people. You could tell black people used to be slaves. Okay?
Enslaved.
Sorry.
Enslaved.
You could tell. Because sometimes we go work for the man, and I pray that this brother had a deal with Saratoga Water before he did it. Because let me tell you something. I was on there Googling Saratoga. I said, I got to know how expensive this water is. Because he could have did Deer Park. He could have did Dasani. They trash water. You could boil it. You know what I'm saying? But he did Saratoga on purpose. So I'm praying my man had a deal in place. I don't think he did. And I don't think he did. And this is what I mean. You could tell black people used to be enslaved. Because now Saratoga is going to come to him and give him a deal, and they're going to pay him pennies on the dollar because he's already
did the work.
He already did the work for free.
And
this is what black people did for too many other brands. And so I was praying, and it was funny. Sierra, who just called, guess what? She called me a couple weeks ago, said, do not have them drinks on your camera again. Because I had
we had a monster and
I had a Celsius up here.
Yeah.
She was like, they ain't paying y'all. When we went on We Talk Back, they said take them labels off. Like they not paying. And sometimes you got to realize, like, you could say something so crazy, it'll take off. He did something so intense and it took off. And shout out to him. I hope he gets a bodybuilding deal, everything. You know what I'm saying? Apparent, whatever.
Well, we've said it before, right? Black males, we're
cover this damn bottle up.
we're too affordable, too accessible, right? And right now he is affordable and accessible.
Facts.
And I hope he gets the bag. This is the thing. We have not harnessed our influence at all.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
You talking about black men?
Black people in general, especially, let me take that back. Black men.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of times, we are the driving force and then everybody else piles in, behind. It's like the conversation everybody was like, hey, they want to bring segregation back, yada, yada, yada. And a lot of people was like, yeah, bring it back. And I was just like, hey, y'all misunderstand what segregation was. Segregation was denying us access to white spaces. Whites still had access to our spaces, right? They can still do what the hell they want.
Yeah.
So that's not what you want. But I think, a lot of that access was, well, shit, let me go down and see what Muddy Waters is doing, right? Elvis Presley, all right? A lot of that was, Paula Deen. I'm not calling her a racist, even though she was known to use the N-word.
Yeah,
but a lot of that was her going into Savannah kitchens. I bet in downtown Savannah, right? A lot of the culinary arts in Charleston was because they were going to, because a lot of y'all probably don't know this, but like downtown Charleston used to be the hood.
Okay,
it used to be like the hood.
I can feel the slavery there.
Yeah, so a lot of that culinary was going into the hood restaurants. So. When you say like, hey, let's separate spaces, we've never really been allowed to have our own spaces. And now because we're in this integrated space, I think the one thing that we can hold back on is our influence. And I like the fact that a lot of us, because remember, we said this on this pod, we said like, hey, best thing blacks can do is like everything that's going on right now in politics, just be like, yo, this ain't our fight. Yeah. This ain't our fight, right? Yeah. So April 5th, when they go into protest, it's not our fight. I'm tired of seeing Hakeem Jeffries and Jasmine Crockett. Why am I seeing them? Is there not one Euro-American heterosexual white Democrat male in the House of Senate? Like, is there not one? Because we don't know his name. Can you think of a name? I can't think of a name. I can't. I don't see him on TV, but I keep seeing Hakeem and Jasmine Crockett. Like
Jasmine, the one who's doing the Not Like Us.
Yeah, they're not like us. She called Governor Abbott Hot Wheels the other day. That was actually funny.
Yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
that was funny. Wrong, but it was funny.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to fulfill stereotypes.
Yeah, she and the thing is she's fulfilling the stereotype, and like low key, I don't even think that's her. I think that's her playing a character.
Oh, a lot of y'all cosplaying,
and and that's also what I don't like. That being said, back to black men. We're too affordable. We're too accessible.
Absolutely.
Let's hold on to our image and our influence.
Please.
And make folks pay for it.
Yeah, man. You know, got to pimp yourself out sometimes. Hold on. Damn, this is when I was What'd you do this weekend? I ain't even asked.
That was it, man. I hung out with a couple of the fellas, man. We ended up going there, hanging out that night. Had a couple sticks. We were just chilling, man. I didn't do too much. Trying to figure out.
You don't never invite me out.
Gavin never comes out. I told Gavin come out tomorrow. What did Gavin say? I can't.
Got my kid, man. What you want me to do, man?
I can't.
Are you tired of mediocre haircuts and lackluster service? Look no further. Get ready to redefine your grooming game with the ultimate experience at NoGrease Barbershop, conveniently located at Northlake Mall and Charlotte Premium Outlets. It's not just about a haircut, it's about the experience. NoGrease Premium in Northlake sets a new standard for luxury with a full-service bar selection. Elevate your grooming experience even further with their signature drinks served during your service or while you wait. Whether you're looking for a classic fade, a timeless gentleman cut, or a bold modern style, NoGrease Premium in Northlake got you covered with their design and color specialists. Let's not forget about the importance of routine self-care for men. Their partnership with Alpha Male Nail Care, exclusively at NoGrease Premium, offers manicures and pedicures as a part of your routine grooming. Visit NoGrease Barbershop at Charlotte Premium Outlets or Northlake Mall today, and make sure you tell them that the Black Dads Club sent you. All right. So Anthony Mackie sat down and he talked about, I think I know what it said. Anthony Mackie sat down and he talked about destroying the black male, America destroying masculinity in men. He talked about raising his sons.
Yeah.
And it caused an uproar. This should be part of my fake news that
the fake outrage segment. This definitely should. Matter of fact, we could do the fake outrage segment now.
Yeah, we'll start there. So people was upset.
Yeah.
Me personally, first of all, I don't like Anthony Mackie.
You don't like him?
Somebody's face. And something about that. You know what it was for me?
What?
In Notorious when he played Tupac. And when he came in, he was like, yo, big. And I was just like, this the nigga they got to play Tupac. And since then, I have not liked him. So that's probably been since 2011.
Oh, that's actually not unfair.
Yeah, I was just so mad at that. Way to ruin a great movie for me. So I was mad at that. And so what was your thoughts when you first heard about this?
I mean, I think he had some hits and I think he had some misses. And
okay.
I think the conversation that he was having, I don't think the pivot was the best place for that. Right?
Okay, why not?
Well, because the pivot is more sports oriented, and I know sometimes they try to dip into the dating or the masculinity world, but ever since they had the whole Jonathan Owens thing with Simone Biles, or Simone Owens, I should say, Simone Owens Biles,
or Simone Biles
Owens, however it goes. I'm not married, but when Ryan kind of like piled on, that kind of turned me off on them discussing masculinity, because it was like, you're a little bit of a panderer, right? Even though you've been married for 29 years, you're a little bit of a panderer. Yeah. So when Ryan Mackie was trying to have that conversation, I felt that they didn't challenge him on it, which would have made it good. Mm-hmm. And then they also really didn't agree with it. Mm-hmm. So I think he kind of ran out of runway a couple times while he was trying to have the conversation. And I feel that it was because they was afraid to have the conversation.
Yeah, and sometimes people not prepared for it. I hate poor interviewers, and we're going to get to Shannon later. I only been saying this for a month.
Yeah,
one day, I don't know how many more artists, and we're going to get to it, that Shannon got an interview for y'all start being like, all right, Gavin was right. And I was right about White Lotus, and I was right about something else last week. We get to that when Gavin's right. That's going to be a new segment too.
Yeah. But I don't think he said anything. I don't think he said anything wrong or profound, because if you listen to black male centric podcasts, not black male trying to get laid podcasts, not black male that hate women podcasts, but any black male centric podcast, there is this idea where black men are saying, hey, the ideal of what masculinity is belongs to men.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to anybody else. It belongs to men.
But do you think America is trying to destroy masculinity?
I think, well, I don't think they're trying to destroy masculinity per se, because I think what Americans want to do more than anything is preserve the patriarchy.
Okay.
Right? And the patriarchy, and I'm sick of having this argument with y'all. I'm going to stop. I'm probably about to mute that word this week.
Nah.
I can't really. I really can't. I've muted a few. But the patriarchy excludes black males. Right? But black males are going to always be like the second most desired men, because we know women are loyal to resources. Yeah. Black males don't have resources, but almost in every chart, that comes up in a desirability ranking,
Yes.
Afro-American males come in second.
Well, that was my issue with Melissa Ford.
Yeah.
On Joe Budden. So for those who do not know, Joe Budden had a topic where they talked about this, and Joe was arguing that they are trying to destroy masculinity.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody, and him and Queen's Flip were on that side, and then everybody else was like, maybe not. We don't see it. Right. And so my issue with Melissa Ford was Queen Flip was saying that, hey, they are trying to destroy like black masculinity in this world, and they're saying that what they're doing is saying women are in power, women could do this.
Yeah.
And her direct response was, we're not with abortion and not with y'all creating laws. And that goes to your point.
Yeah.
I hate when black people are having a conversation and then we get to tie in the actions of only white men do.
Yes.
And say, hey, this is what y'all doing. And that was my biggest issue.
And it's always men. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You can't, not only can you not find places where black men are oppressive, black men as a collective, right? You can find an individual black man fucking up anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. But black men as a collective, not only can you not find black men being members of the patriarchy, but there's more literature, like during Reconstruction, black male legislators in the House and Senate, there's actually books about this, literally wrote women's rights into state legislators.
Yeah.
Right? Like black males worked hand in hand with working class whites. Like the first progressive class, and again, this is something that America always does, is that when there is a word that they want to get rid of, they fuck it up, right? Like progressive was never this, ultra liberal, universal basic income, alphabet community center. That's not what it was. If you look up Progressive Party, North Carolina, and just read everything between that and the Wilmington Massacre, right? You'll see that the progressive class was a group of black male politicians that worked hand in hand with white working class male politicians to start winning state houses. Similar work happened in South Carolina. So every time I'm like, this ideal, just like, well, black men are the white men. I don't even know however the hell y'all put that.
Oh, no, I tell you.
What is it?
Black men are like worse than white men. They're just like as racist. I had a girl cuss me out about that. She was like, y'all are just as oppressive as white men.
And we're not. Matter of fact, not only are we not, we're the most egalitarian. And what I hate is, it's the sleight of hand that happens between feminists and black women that think they're feminists.
Black feminists is what they like to be called.
Yeah, they're black women that think they're feminists. They're not. But like the white feminists hold their hand up here, and down here is the middle finger.
Oh, facts.
Right? And they just see the wave, but they don't see the middle finger. Because what white feminists are trying to protect is the patriarchy. But in order to protect the patriarchy, they have to take the man that is physically, and intellectually and egalitarian, right? They have to take that man and they have to minimize that man. Because that man can succeed against their man. So everything that they do is protection. So I hate when there's this ideal of like, black men have been proven time and time again to be the most egalitarian. They've been proven to do the most housework. They've been proven to not only take care of the kids, they're the only men that actually found joy in taking care of their kids.
They got happier.
They got happier, right? So it's like, basically, long story short, not to bore the hell out of everybody. When black men have been pushing back against the feminist rhetoric for probably about at least a decade, now you're starting to it's starting to take mainstream, and a lot of people say, all right, even I see now even our sisters are like, okay, we're not feminists, we got to push back against this a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that now women that are the black Barbies, and I'm not talking about the Nicki Minaj black Barbies, I'm talking about the anti-misandric pink pill black Barbies, right? They're having to include black men into the patriarchy so they can get white women to try to attack black men, because that's the easy place to go. Melissa Ford could easily just say it, the reason why women don't have abortion is because of white men. Yeah, it's a layup of a conversation, right? Like the reason why women couldn't buy houses was because of white men.
Yeah, but that don't fit her agenda, and I feel bad for Melissa because you've had the last 2 episodes off. I hope they give you another 2 so you can have a 2-week vacation, because she needs it, because that was the most disgusting topic, because it's like she couldn't hold on to, hey, we're trying to destroy black men. And I wish women would just come out and just say, hey, we trying to recreate black men.
Well, I mean, I do think, and this is what I've started saying. I do think that there's this ideal that black men need to be more ladylike. And I think that's what black men are pushing back against.
Oh, black men are the new, excuse me, never mind. I'll say it later.
Yeah, like I think that's what black men are put. Like we're not ladies. Right? Our job is not to be ladylike. And I do think that that's kind of the ideal of everybody is pushing. And when I say ladylike, I'm not even talking about orientation. Y'all can't even y'all can't even get me on that conversation no more.
Nah,
because it's like, it has nothing to do with orientation.
When you say I don't care, they get upset.
Yeah, like you can't even get me on that. No, like it's like there is a push to make black men
the new bad bitches.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's real. And it's like when black men, it's like, no, I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't get mad at them and be like, no, you need to be that. And if you're not that, you're a misogynist. It's like, no, I'm not the new ladies. Like I'm not a lady.
Yo, man, that's why Homeboy video went on. Yo, when you become the new bad men are the new bad bitches, shit just go different.
Man.
You know what I love about this government is amazing, but one from my sister that's been missing. Hold on. I miss you, sis.
Here's my sad little grievance.
Okay.
And I'm going to play my little violin.
Okay.
Who's this?
I don't get to text anymore.
My baby.
I have all these
Oh.
things on my phone that prevent,
Vice President.
for the sake of security.
Yes.
Former.
But I used to love our family group texts. Like when we would, it was everything. Like when Wordle first came out. Did you get the word?
yes, that's
or
a
when,
good one.
right? It was just, it was so good.
How often do you Uber Eats dinner to the White House?
I hate
Do
this
you
dumb
Uber- Or are you a DoorDash
But hold on.
person?
This is
Don't
funny.
tell me you cooking all
We
the
could clip this part out,
No,
but this
we
my
can't
part is coming up.
for
That's fine
security
for you.
reasons. I can't have deliveries.
They can't even get the people to Uber? None of the DoorDash? Oh, girl.
But I do like to cook. I don't cook that often because I don't have time.
Collard greens. Yeah, we know. I'm pretty sure they don't have to DoorDash or Uber because
What?
Secret Service goes and picks it up.
Yo,
with that being said,
who is this again? Besides Kamala, who's the other girl? No, what's her name?
See, now you don't make me forget.
She got a top
Kiki.
Kiki.
Yeah, Kiki Palmer.
You are very performative, and I love it. But you know good.
Yeah,
But it's cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But no. We played this because this is Kamala and pretty much every other person in government that knows that once you start dealing with top secret information,
You don't have a phone.
you do not have a phone. And if you do have a phone, it has to be far away from you. It has to be benign, and they need to have access to it to make sure nothing goes out on it. All right.
Well, that was for every administration before this.
Before this administration, in 60 days, you guys are using your personal cell phones
For a group chat.
and using Signal, which I'm almost certain is owned by an intelligence agency. I won't say which one I think is owned by, but you can go look at the last names of the founders and figure it out pretty easily by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you're using their group chat. Bruh, they tried to make it seem like it was just a few people in group chat. I saw this morning. There was 19 people in the group chat. Okay, one, somebody need to ask Pete if he was drinking. Because then I'd understand.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if you go to rehab, you should keep your job. But the fact that y'all added a reporter, right? For one, you did it by accident. No, this was not some end around. This was not some plan. It was not somebody else's name. You made a mistake. And look, everybody has made this mistake at some point in time with group chat or text messaging. I was early adopting text messaging. I'll give y'all a quick story. I was at the beginning of text messaging where you had to type it in on a website and it went to the cell phone. And then when they had to respond, they had to go to the website and type it in.
Never seen that.
And it come to your phone, right? Like, now here's the thing. Eventually, you could text from phone to phone. Okay, right. This is probably what you guys remember, right?
Facts.
So I'm in my 20s, right? So I am in my let's say hot boy era.
Oh gosh.
Right.
F boy era. Go ahead.
So anyway, I just said good morning text, right? This is before y'all hated good morning text because texting was new. Mm-hmm. So I didn't I had to be able to put everybody's number in and just send like a hey, good morning, beautiful.
Yeah.
To everybody, right? And it would go to everybody's phone individually.
Separately. The game has changed.
I do not know. So one morning, I'm sending out my good morning text to, all my friends. And it goes to everybody. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. See, that's wild.
And it was not a good day for me, right?
Nah.
But you know who made that mistake? I made that mistake.
Pass the mic with.
I could not say that someone else made the mistake, that they made the mistake. This administration, this is my biggest problem, is that you guys made a mistake and y'all tried to say it wasn't true. Mm-hmm. Y'all trying to say that a journalist of all people hacking into an encrypted app.
That's hilarious.
And instead of just saying like, yo,
my bad,
we be fucking up.
Yeah. And then they made homeboy release he was like, yo, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, because they were like, it wasn't any plans in there. And again, this is why, look, I tell you, I don't argue with bigots, radical feminists, mm-hmm. or anybody from that community, right? Because it's never a good faith conversation. Never. And we have an administration full of bigots. And look, I support their right to be fucking bigots. I just need America to vote properly. Any individual bigot, just be whoever the hell you want. I don't really care.
Well, my problem is the follow-up. My problem is with them is their followers just excusing stuff.
Excuse everything. Like, it's not a big deal. Like,
what, bro, one dude wrote, he was like, yo, do it matter that they was talking in the app and the journalist saw we killed terrorists? It's all good. And it's like, no, you can't do this.
Dude, they mentioned a CIA operative name, right? And here's the thing. If, like, all your phones, like, and the reason why we played that Kamala clip is, remember at the beginning, she was like, her phone has many layers of protection on it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's things that she can't do. When we use our personal cell phones, they can pull all our signals, literally out the air. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So if you're not in what they call a SCIF that protects the signals, or if you don't have a multi-layered phone that sends everything out encrypted, they can steal your signals. So the fact that someone out there was able to collect all that data, right? So they're able to know whoever that CIA agent that's undercover on the ground is. Yeah, there's somebody out there that knows who that person is. Yeah, and here's the bigger problem here, right? That's just one conversation that we're aware of. Facts. In 60 days, right? Yeah. How many conversations have they been having just out and about on their personal cell phones giving undercover agents' name? Bro. So this scandal is way bigger than what they're trying to make it out to be. This could be a real problem. Like, if you are an agent undercover in the field right now, you got to be like, hey, I need to know if y'all done leak my name or said my name in group chat. Bruh. If so, I need to come home right now.
Absolutely. Before we go forward, how you feel about Snap wanting to take junk food away?
You know what? This is one of those broke clock might be right once. Here's the thing. They're not doing it to keep people healthy though, right?
They not at all.
Cruelty is the goal here, right? Absolutely. Their goal is to be cruel. Two, I'm surprised that Coke and Pepsi aren't lobbying the hell against this. And they probably are behind the scenes, but I'm surprised they're not vocally doing it. Yeah, because that's going to be a lot. I mean, it comes from their bottom line. Do I think food stamps should be used for junk food per se individually? No, I do not.
Me either.
But you know what I'm saying? But do I think that it should be restricted to rice and beans the way that people want? Do y'all even know how to make beans? Y'all know how hard it is to make beans, man?
Well, they're going to let them boil it. They say y'all going to figure it out. You see, I'm with you. I don't like the fact of government money being used on junk food, especially when you're talking about poor people that's overweight, poor people that don't have the best health insurance. Yeah. So I get that. However, I don't like the fact of, hey, you poor, so you can't eat.
You can't eat it. You're just trying to punish them. That I do not like, right? Like, yeah. So maybe again, there's a conversation to be had. Look, it's a lot of stuff that we should not eat. Next time you're out of the country, this is the easiest way to look at it. Look at the back of a bottle of ketchup next time you're out of the country, and see how many ingredients on it. It's like 5. Yeah, it's like it's so easy that you like, hell, I can make ketchup at home. Yeah, but then look at the back of the bottle of our ketchup. Right, if you go home or if you listen to this at home, open your cabinet.
It's like 5 lines.
Yeah, and look at what's on the back of our bottle of ketchup. So I'm for food becoming more healthy. Absolutely, right? Yeah. Because for one, it probably reduces inflammation. We'll probably all lose weight. We'll probably live longer. But the idea of them just saying, hey, we want to take junk food off of Snap is, the cruelty is the goal. And I'm not against it per se, but you're not doing it You're not doing it because you care.
Yeah, it's almost like when Harvard said, if you make under 100K, we'll let you in.
Yeah, like you're not getting in anyway.
Yeah.
like you can lower it if you make under 20K. Like you're not getting in. Like it's
this is the greatest.
the hardest school to get into. Like whoever came with that, it's instant great PR.
Amazing PR.
Yeah.
You deserve a raise.
Yeah.
Too bad that some of us are too smart for it. Shannon Sharp. First of all, you and Ocho is coming to Charlotte soon. We probably need to look at that date.
Yeah, we do need to look at that day. We need to pop in there some shirts.
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
hold them up. Be
Absolutely.
Like, hey man,
What y'all doing?
put us on.
Absolutely that. But until then, Shannon, I want to know what deal Shannon signed. He's getting there for me. He got about 4 more. And then
So here's the thing. He's on
Colin
Cowherd's network.
Yeah. But I want to know what that deal is like.
And these last few guests, I'm like, these are Cowherd guests, bro. And Cowherd, okay, let me ask you a question. Why Cowherd haven't interviewed Andrew Schultz, but Shannon Sharp has?
Because Shannon Sharp has signed a deal with the devil. And I don't know how else the nice way to say it. And sometimes, when we was in church, what they used to say, sometimes the devil deal be looking good. It tempt you.
I mean, so to your point, finally, all right, one of the things, I know that Shannon's not an interviewer, and one of the things that I do like is that he lets people talk.
Yes.
But when you have somebody like Schultz on, Young Miami on, there's questions that you need to answer and drill in on.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what people are interested in.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't care that Young Miami will get cheated on 4 times before she leave, right?
Yeah.
That's not interesting, right?
Did he cheated on you more than that? So
I need to know how much did he pay you?
Was it $250,000?
To be his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
These are the questions that people want answered, right?
Absolutely.
Andrew Schultz, are you a bigot?
Well,
right?
Hold on.
They handled it. Any type of beef or anything like that.
Hold on. You
Yeah.
can
So
say
we don't let no white comedians talk
He said,
about
don't let no white comedians talk about no black woman. That's law. Yeah. You're right. What's my opinion on that?
Yeah.
That wasn't even the line that really bothered me. It was the next one that bothered me.
What did he say?
He's like, to the N-words that coon and the N-words being groomed, slide on both of them. And a lot of people interpreted that as he was talking to Charlemagne and Alex Media, who I do the podcast with.
Yeah.
Now, to me, the word slide has implications of violence.
Yeah.
So if you are calling violence on my friends,
Right.
you're going to probably hear something back from me.
Right.
That's just, I care deeply about these
Right.
people.
For those who do not know, Andrew's response to that line was that he would R-word
sexually assault
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick.
But okay.
Yeah. That was his response.
That was his response. Something that
And,
wasn't even
you're
about
the
him.
biggest rapper in the world, and, you never know what your fans might do.
So you do have 2 black friends, huh?
I don't call them friends because they're black.
Okay.
But if they were white, I would call them friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you do have 2 black people that you. But even 50, like your joke, 50, like hold on.
I don't need to see poor interviewing. I could have asked them same questions. Let me tell y'all something. Didn't I say that Kendra was talking about Andrew Schultz as soon as that song came out?
Yeah.
I said it on the pod.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Charlemagne let Andrew get off racist shit all the time.
He's comfortable.
He's comfortable.
When,
especially when he talks crazy to black women.
Yeah.
We got our new intro. Who do we say did our intro? Taylor from the Breakfast Club. Guess what? Andrew had her crying the next week. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it was crazy because I was like, I wish I would have saw that day when we did the intro because I would have had a lot of words for Andrew. I think, and Shannon, I'm getting to the point, bro. You got 3 more interviews, and it was before this. It was you sitting down with Megan Good, who maybe if you didn't have the deal that you had, you probably would interview her. But we knew that you was trying to interview her to get Jonathan Majors. Yeah. But it's you sitting down with Glorilla, it's you sitting down with people. I'm just like, why is this person here? Like you got, you sitting down with Young Miami for what?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it's like, bro, it's more celebrities than people that we might want to know or need to know that you can have great interviews with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I won't say it's running this course again. I'd rather Shannon Sharp get the money over Vlad any day.
Absolutely.
But I do need to know what direction we're heading. So I need.
Well, I already told you. I mean, if y'all want me to predict where we're going, Shannon wants to be the baller alert of interviews, and I figured that out. He has a nice setting. He's going for. I think.
Aren't we sick of that as black people?
Baller Alert, Shade Room, they doing well.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
never mind. That's a terrible.
not to
question.
top to earth. You know what I'm saying? But we are getting to this point. Like, I believe, sometimes you get that high. What they always say, I never did heroin, so I can't say. What they say, did you always chasing that first high?
Already chasing that first high.
And I think that Cat Williams was that first high for Shannon. And I think they have seen so much come from that it's just like, how do we get that again? And sometimes we hoping that Young Miami will come in and slip up and talk about Diddy. We hoping that.
I mean, but here's the thing. They don't have to slip up. You can ask the question. They're right there.
Well,
they're right in front of you.
Shannon hasn't realized that he can pull the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club have made it very clear. If you come in, you give us a list of what we can't talk about, we're going to talk about it on purpose. Now, Shannon doesn't realize, like, yo, Young Miami here, but bro, you got
and you ain't got to be disrespectful, but you can be like, hey, I need 5 minutes of this point of view.
Absolutely.
Like,
but he wants the salacious shit, and it's like, it's weird. Speaking of the Breakfast Club, Jess versus Lauren. One of my favorite. Let me tell y'all something. I haven't laughed this hard in so long.
Oh man,
Jess hilarious.
Lauren got her own segment. Not my bad to interrupt you, but I just saw she got her own segment now.
Yeah, because when you let Jess come online and embarrass her, yeah, y'all gotta pay. Something gotta change. So if you do not know, Jess Hilarious did a live. I hate this generation. I think she's part of my generation, and I hate. I was talking to my brother-in-law yesterday, and he said, my brother-in-law is 27, and he said, yo, y'all got to stop treating me like, all right, I'm young and I make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I go, you at 100% right. He said, because I'm getting old enough where I'm a grown man now.
Yeah.
And my mistakes ain't because of youth. It's just because I made it.
Yep.
Right? So I hate, and we do this a lot with women. And I'm going to get to the Kobe doc because they kept referring Kobe's situation in Colorado as a girl.
Yeah.
And she was a grown woman.
She was a grown woman.
But we get there.
Yeah.
So they kept saying Jess is young. She's 30. She's young.
She's not young.
And my problem with these young ass, and I'm talking about the mind.
Yeah.
Y'all get on social media to air people out. And this whole I got you moment, that's what needs to die in our community today. The I got you. I caught you, or I'm airing you out. I'm embarrassing you. Because what Jess did on live, talking about, yo, I see why Angelia left.
That was crazy. Did she still have a job?
Jess, yeah, it looked like.
So that was all crazy because I was like, here's the thing. The sad thing was, Jess' gripe was legitimate.
It was,
and she illegitimate.
I was with Jess until the end of the live.
Yeah, like you do have a complaint. Like, hey, I went out on maternity leave. I'm back. Why are you here? Right?
Yeah.
But that's supposed to be handled off air, off mic.
And to give Jess some credit, she claimed she voiced some concerns. Now, I don't know why black people, y'all go work at these white ass jobs and you go off on maternity leave. First of all, you just got here. And
that's the crazy part. And I briefly spoke about that last week on the live. We'll be live tonight if this drop. If it drops tomorrow, we was live last night. We'll be live next Wednesday.
I dropped the audio today. We live tonight, 10 o'clock.
But that was one of the things that I was saying. It's like, do women see that as being a mistake, right? And I know how I see it, right? But I can't answer for women because I don't have babies like that. Right. So like, and the women that was listening to the live last week said that was a mistake.
She got pregnant at the wrong time.
Do that. Yeah. She got pregnant at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And it's not, maybe personally it was the right time, but professionally you got pregnant the wrong.
You just got here.
Me and my wife wanted to have a kid last year. She said, y'all just got this job.
Yeah. That's real tall, right?
Nigga, you can't shoot past this.
You can't go past. We got to track it, right? I just got here
because what I'm doing, they're going to let me go or they're going to figure something out. And
somebody's going to come in and do my job and I am going to get laid off.
Yeah. And they'll find a way. And I know everybody like to say, oh, legally, blah, blah, blah. That sounds good.
Yeah,
Trump
sounds good, but most people don't sue.
Trump in office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything legally, we could just throw it out.
Yeah. And so I was with Jess, but Jess, to me personally, I felt like Jess got pregnant at the wrong time. She went off. And then here's the thing. This is why I don't respect Jess. I don't respect celebrities, especially when y'all be performative. We need to do a performative of the week award. Y'all act like we weren't there.
Yeah.
So I remember when Jess came back. And I remember when it was Lauren congratulating her, and you know, they had to, we don't want to be pitted against each other. That let me know that y'all did see the comments.
Yep.
And y'all was having that issue, and y'all didn't want to be pitted against each other, but people like Lauren.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that person.
She's attractive. She seems to be tall. She's well put together. She's well spoken.
She's well spoken.
Yeah.
And Jess, it's not that Jess, you like the homegirl.
Yes.
And that's cool. And there's a place for that. Lauren is more like the reporter. I'm here to do my job. I check in, check out, whatever. But it seemed like the job they needed, Lauren did good, and people really liked it. And, you know, with Jess, it seemed you came back hot and cool. You said that, yo, I had conversations they didn't do it. Oh, this go back to my point. I don't know why black people go to these white ass jobs and thinking they ain't gonna do what's best for the company.
Yep.
Y'all got to stop that. So yeah, you work for a white ass company. You come back. They figured out, yo, the TMZ girl is very good.
Yep.
She does this. She has worked in this job before. She knows what she's doing. She speaks well. Like you said, she's pretty. The audience like her. Jess, we don't know what we're gonna do. So you haven't been here. Ratings are here. If you come back and they go higher, then that's a win for us. If it go lower, yo, we can get rid of you.
Yeah, you might be screwed.
And then,
but again, the biggest mistake here was not taking your opportunity seriously.
That part, or, you know, and I ain't gonna say that, you know, see, my biggest mistake is
we have to be able to say getting pregnant 2 months into a job where you have to be a public speaker is a problem.
Yeah, but
like,
I don't know if she was pregnant before she got the gig. Because remember, she was there, she left, and they was trying to figure out who they was going to hire. And when she came back, she announced she was pregnant. So that might be something there. But also, Jess, here's my thing. I'm not even worried about that. The biggest mistake here is stop showing your ass in public. So you get on these platforms, y'all going back and forth. And you know what Lauren said that made me mad is like, she was like, yo, I was talking and Jess, you told me to shut up or whatever. And Jess tried to like downplay like, yo, why didn't you say on the air, don't tell me to shut up? It's like, girl, I'm professional. Like,
yeah, I'm being professional. And, you know, the whole bringing Charlamagne and envying, like, y'all didn't protect me. You know, for one, those are not going to be the two dudes to ever protect anybody outside of themselves. But two, you know, that's unprofessional, right? You cannot throw your people that you have to work with
under the bus.
But
you know what I give Charlamagne and Envy? Both of them didn't let her get that gaslighting bullshit off. They both looked at her and said, no, we did.
Yeah.
Both of them said, no, we talked to you separately.
And stop reading the comments.
Stop reading the comments. Yeah. Stop reading the comments. Charlamagne, and I'm not even mad at Charlamagne joking through all this.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we are having an argument in front of millions of people and our bosses.
Yep.
And I've been here for 15 years. This is not cool. And
I can't lose my job over you, girl.
Oh, over y'all. Like,
yeah.
What? I got a lot.
Like, how much you think Charlamagne making as a host of Breakfast Club? Easy got to be $1.5 million, right?
Yeah, easy that. But then they give him, you know, he's over certain things.
Yeah, over everything else. So it's like I mean, just from that, like, yeah, I'm not losing a job that I've worked on for 15 years because you're pissed off about something.
I am not going back to Sumter or Muntz Corner.
Muntz Corner,
yeah. Damn near worse than Sumter. Like, nobody going back to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's that, and then it's like, I like Lauren saying, yo, no, I pulled you in the room with the producer. We talked. Everybody let Jess know, like, yo, you acting like this the first time, and it ain't. And Jess, I love people. Jess was almost as good as homeboy who was in Congress yesterday. Like, I can't recall. She was like, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. So I think it was just ghetto, personally, but whatever, man. Shout out to Abbott Elementary. I wonder if my wife come back tomorrow so we can watch that. It's one of the shows that I think I can watch if she comes back. Quinta Brunson is a genius. I love her. Her going from the girl who's doing skits, talking about is this a large when they went to the movie theater, you know what I'm saying? That to, you know, you winning Emmys, Oscars, everything for Abbott Elementary is amazing. Well, in fake news that y'all mad about, or fake outrage segment, we gotta come up with a good name.
Yeah, we got, and then we gotta make sure we segment.
Yeah. Yo, apparently she's been married to a white man and she getting a divorce, and the internet was fake upset about it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Everyone was just like, the women are trying to pretend they don't see it, right? And then the guys are just like, hey, y'all gonna talk about this? Yeah. and the ladies like, talk about what? Right? So honestly, like, that was the conversation that was going on. Y'all know my philosophy. Go where you're loved. All right. I don't care. I don't care about the interracial dating for men or women. Now, what I do hate is like what Marc Lamont tried to pull off to say that black women, I understand why black women do it, but black men can't do it. Y'all not gonna get that off around me.
Well, his exact word, well, not his exact words. His paraphrase was, black women have stated that black men do not want them.
Yeah,
that's what he started.
Yeah, I hate that they let him get that off because.
Well, I told you why, but I can't say it here because I want to interview a lot of them.
Yeah, but yeah, you can't say that. But the whole thing with Quinta is like he makes his comment, basically saying that when black women reach a certain level, that there's not enough black men there, right?
That's what he ended up at because they challenged him with well, black men could say the same thing, so he had to elevate. Yeah,
he had to elevate the argument, and that's what he ended up at. So I'm gonna say that was his argument, right?
Absolutely.
So, do you know what her husband does for a living?
I do not.
He works at a dispensary. It didn't say he owned a dispensary. It literally said that he works for a dispensary.
That's what's up.
All right. Would Quinta Brunson marry a brother that works at a dispensary?
You gonna force me? I like Abbott Elementary. I hope one day
I'm just saying because Marc Lamont's final statement was when women get to a certain level, there's no men at their level, right?
To everybody at the Joe Budden podcast, I want y'all to understand how Marc argues. He argues where he has a point and he will stick to that point, and he will, whether he's winning or losing the argument, he will stick to that one point, and he will force you to argue that point, not the overall.
Exactly.
So here's my thing. It was a debate last night in the community. Who won the argument, Ish or Marc? Yeah. I am here to say Marc won the argument because Ish failed to argue that point, and Ish ended up agreeing with Marc Lamont Hill.
And I hated that. I hated it. It was because Marc was wrong.
Marc is 100% wrong. Let me tell you what happened to Quinta. As a black guy who was in an interracial relationship, did I date a lot of black women? Well, only
dated black women.
Yeah, besides my wife, right? Yeah. So then you get there, right? Was it a lot of black women who didn't want me? Absolutely. Is that the reason why I married a Puerto Rican woman? No.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me tell you why this is not an issue. First of all, and I don't mean this, Quinta, or to your husband, no disrespect. If that man was better good looking, black women would be there supporting. They would be paying more attention. Because he's not that, they're just going to ignore it.
Yep.
Also, this is what I wanted to get at earlier when I told you black men got to start speaking out. And this is not the situation when black men is going to speak out. This Quinta was not a real issue because black men don't give a damn who black women date. Straight
there
up.
There you go. We do not care.
En masse, we will see a Holly Berry, a Zoe.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We will see these women go through.
Shit, what's that girl that's dating Tom Holland? Zendaya? Yeah, we we know it's a matter of time before we lose, what's my girl from South Africa?
Tim's?
No. Tim's from Nigeria. No, my girl with the Tyler.
Oh, that's what I meant. Not Tim's. I'm sorry, baby. We ain't gonna never lose you. Tyler definitely gone. What?
What? We know it's a matter of time before Tyler's gone, right? And it's like, yo, we don't care.
Nobody cares.
We don't care. Go be happy. Go do what you want.
Nobody looked at Holly Berry and put her in the group chats and was like, yo, I can't believe she
Did Rihanna date a Saudi prince or something?
We don't
a UAE prince? Like, we don't care.
We don't put Eve in the group chat.
No,
nobody cares.
Not even by accident.
And it's not, and it's really because it's like, yo, if that's what you want, that's what you're gonna have. I don't have time to focus on that when I'm trying to find love myself.
Exactly.
Now, sisters, y'all have y'all own thing, and I ain't here to say why y'all be arguing. And it's cool. And I think
because black men are the backup plan. I'll say it. Oh. Black when they get older, their backup plan is always what has traditionally been there, which is Mr. Cleanup Man, and that's what black men we are the catfish of dating, not catfish like the TV show, the literal catfish.
But some niggas
that
like
cleans up. Yeah, that's why they love black men. It's because we come behind everybody's mistakes. You know what? 2 kids, fuck it, I'm gonna marry you, right? You know, crazy baby daddy, fuck it, I'm gonna marry you. Twice divorced. Fuck it, I'm gonna marry you. You know, you not who you were, not the same shape you were in college, you know, but I liked you back then and I got access to you now. Fuck it, I'm gonna marry you. Black men are the catfish of dating. And now that black men are starting to be like, whoa. Like, I'm a little bit desired, right?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit elevated, right? Like, you know, this even, oh boy, I hated Marc Lamont was able to get this shit off, right? This idea that like, oh, black women are so much educated. 31% of black women have college degrees. Black men used to be in the low 20s. Black men are now up to 26%, right? It's a 5% different in college degrees. We have to admit that the problem in our community right now is if there's a man right here and a woman right here, and they're within the same income bracket, right? Within 10 grand of each other, that the woman looks down on the man. Absolutely. Because she cannot practice hypergamy the way she want to practice hypergamy. Except when you want to marry, the guy that works at a dispensary.
Absolutely. That's really the issue.
That's really the issue.
And
and now that we're moving away from that, right? Like now that bros are kind of like, man, nah, I'm not gonna be the cleanup man anymore, right? That's why we get so much hate, and that's why we get so much pushback, and that's why a Marc Lamont, that's why a Umar, that's why Derek Jackson, that's why Ace Metaphor, that's why they're able to get this off, is because everybody wants to be mad at the men that saying that, like, yo, I'm not second fiddle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could be first chair.
And Marc Lamont Hill, I love you. I think you're the greatest addition to that podcast. I still want to talk to you about why the hell you said that if black men vote for Trump, they want to be white. I think that was the most egregious, disrespectful, distasteful thing you said on that pod. And I'm mad that the pod sped past that. But I still love you. You're still a great addition. And you, never mind, I can't say that. It's a couple things I can't say. Oh, also, Joe Budden podcast, wrap it up real quick about this gangs versus fraternity things. When LAPD and the feds wrap up 60 Crip members, the conversation is done. Y'all keep bringing it up on Patreon, and it's done. That conversation is done. Like we're good now.
Conversation is over. And to all y'all self-snitching dudes that keep going on Vlad and Adam 22, you know what? Good job. Keep self-selecting yourself out of the gene pool. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Let's get to sports. Your baby tore ACL, man.
Yeah. JuJu is not my baby because I know how y'all treat and fantasize young ladies, but she's a very beautiful woman. I hate that she tore ACL. The coaches definitely deserved to get reamed, especially when she was up on Greensboro and she was still in that game. And even though these two things might not be connected, it happened. So
and it looked bad.
It looks bad. You got to deal with it. But the worst thing that happened was Jayden's mom. And at some point, we got to have I don't have all the information or data today, and y'all, because I hate having conversation without it. Son husbands.
Oh yeah,
in our husbands. In our community, we're gonna have to talk about these son husbands that mothers have, and how a lot of the problems that we have right now with masculinity is due in part to the son husband era, because his mother come and send in between, and like, look, I don't want to hear that Jay's 24 and she's 19, right? That is a bad faith argument because y'all don't care, right? Yeah. These are two elite athletes. Their circles are always going to be small.
Absolutely.
So that's not the problem here.
They're both Nike athletes.
I think exactly.
She's definitely on Nike. I want to say he signed to Nike.
I mean, who else would you want a Jayden Daniels to marry, right? A woman that's going to be educated, a woman that has her own money. He has more. She's practicing hypergamy. She's tall as hell. Like how many men is she going to really have access to in the world that makes more money than her and taller than her?
You know, my issue with it is every time I try to look up Jayden Daniels' parents, don't seem like they were married, but they raised their kids.
They raised them together.
The problem is his mom is his agent, and that ain't the problem. Is like. And I don't know if this is fair to her because I feel like I feel like the media is going to do their thing. And I hate when our people lean into it. They're about to create a narrative for you. And you're going to happily lean into, I'm the bold, strict mom who's doing everything. Yeah,
I'm protecting my son away from, and here's protect your kids away from the Drea and the Brittany Renners, right?
I like them.
Yeah. And the Tiana. I mean, I can see a mom not wanting you to have Tiana. Your dad going to be like, all right. Just don't get her pregnant. Yeah, don't get her pregnant. But in our community, we do have a huge problem right now. I believe the term is enmeshment. I think that's the word, right?
I went to public school.
So did I. But I think that's a term where moms are too involved in their children's life, especially the sons.
Yeah, and we've said this. Some of y'all moms don't have men. Some of you moms don't have men. I ain't gonna put men's on y'all, but some of y'all don't have a man because You in love with your kids.
You're in love with your kids.
Especially some of y'all have boys that you in love, like,
Yeah.
It's my little man. One of our old listeners, man, she used to be weird with her son. I'm like, all right. Got me thinking about White Lotus when I told y'all that brother wanted his brother and sister. It's certain things they don't never put on TV. Incest, killing of babies or children, like blatant killings of them. And the R word against minors. They don't never put that in TV.
That's true.
I've always paid attention to that. And I thought on Homeland, when Carrie about drowned her baby, I was like, oh, this is the first time we about to see a baby like die on camera. And then she didn't drown the kid. So it was cool. But yeah, on White Lotus, the brother jerked off his brother. And I told y'all that shit was coming.
Why bring this up?
Oh, I don't know. This ain't even on the board. I don't know. My mind be just going places.
Jayden Daniels Mama's weird. And now we think his son's weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. In other sports news, Bronny. If Bronny is able to if Bronny wasn't LeBron James' son and he was doing all this in the G League, we would be looking at him to be called up to the NBA. I'm getting closer and closer to that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be legit. And here's the thing, I think Bronny did the man thing, right? I think you don't think I'm good enough, so I'm gonna bust my ass to show you I'm good enough. So big ups to him.
He dropped 40 yesterday or 30?
I think he had 39, like 7-7. But I told y'all his game to me looked like Chauncey Billups. And I think he can have a Chauncey Billups type career.
He get buff. It can go
like
good.
I think a lot of people, and I think a lot of people think Chauncey Billups numbers are way better. Like go Google Chauncey Billups numbers. They were never really great. But Chauncey Billups was a big deal of why, Detroit won.
That and why the Nuggets almost won.
Yeah, why the Nuggets almost won. And I think Bronny games remind me of Chauncey. So I think he's going to be a pro. Is he going to be like an all pro? I mean, not really. No, I don't see that. But the hate, again, I just need people to be honest that the only reason why you hated Bronny is because of LeBron.
His dad, especially. And shout out to Stephen A. Smith for acting like we weren't there.
Oh, dude, the next week he's like, bruh.
You acting like we weren't
there.
I
hope my hot takes are not as bad as Stephen A's.
Bro, we were there. Stephen A. Smith, we were there.
Like, he don't need to play, he's living your dream. And then 1 week later.
Yeah.
I told you he could play. Like, I really hope y'all, if my hot takes really change, if my range is that hard on hot takes, please let me know.
Please let me know.
For real.
Who is shout out to Shep. He put this in our group chat and we had a conversation. Who's the greatest Nepo athlete ever?
Best player. So it's two things here. Are we talking about both of them was good, or are we just saying
the son?
The son.
Who's the best?
The best, all sports?
All sports included.
Probably Peyton Manning.
Really?
Yeah. Who? Huh. Because he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
He is. He's in the top.
And his dad was really, really good.
His dad.
And his dad kind of dictated where his sons played football.
His dad got the greatest sperm out there, probably, for sure.
So,
pause, by the way.
Hey, man. Here's what it is on here. I would say, but who you got?
You don't like my answer.
Oh,
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from wrestling. If we counting wrestling, this nigga's the greatest.
If we counting wrestling, I can see that.
Either that, Barry Bonds.
My bad, Barry Bonds.
So you looking at Ken Griffey Jr., you looking at Barry Bonds. I'm going to include The Rock because what The Rock is doing. I mean, he owns WWE or whatever that looks like there. You're talking about Steph Curry. You talking about?
No, it's Barry Bonds. That's the right answer. I didn't even think about baseball.
Kobe's there.
I instantly went football and basketball.
Yeah.
It's Barry Bonds. It ain't even close. It ain't even close. That's the greatest Nepo. Your godfather Willie Mays, your dad is Barry Bonds, and you, for all intents and purposes, the greatest hitter of all time. Yeah, it's Barry Bonds.
When they said that all them years in steroids, they take it away, and he's still
he's still a Hall of Famer. You take him all away. You know what I hate about that whole steroids conversation is that, and this is just when you don't have the complexion for protection in this country. All the pictures was on steroids.
Yeah,
every single picture was actually on steroids. I think when they did the numbers at one time, man, they showed that the percentage of pictures on steroids was more pictures getting caught for being on performance enhancing drugs than it was actually batters. When they did the percentage of numbers per capita as they like to talk about out there in the world.
My problem was that's when baseball was at its peak.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I get it.
everybody's playing on the same level player field, bro. Like the only person that did not take steroids was probably Ken Griffey Jr.
Absolutely. And then the one person who didn't make him unanimous was like, oh, he played in the steroid area. We aren't sure. It's like, yes, y'all were.
Yeah.
You fucking racist.
Yeah,
you could just say
exactly.
you was racist.
No, Barry Bonds greatest Nepo athlete.
Well, I was thinking that we might get on Kobe, so that's why I was like, I got the Kobe doc up there.
I gotta watch that this afternoon.
I would say watch it. How do you feel? This is the only thing I want to say about it is two things. Stop calling the news. Made sure they called that 19-year-old woman. I understand she's young. I understand they made sure they kept calling her girl on there on purpose. But that's not the point. The second thing is, ladies, if you work in hotels, and I'm not trying to be funny here because this is a known thing, you never go with a guest to their room by yourself. That's
Hotel 101.
That's hotel 101.
Yeah.
And when you work in a hotel, and it's not uncommon, and men are disgusting, and I'm not blaming this on all men, but men are disgusting. They will do things to get the girl at the hotel who look good to come up to their room.
Yeah.
And I never worked with anybody who was like assaulted.
Yeah.
But I just seen men do nasty shit to try to.
Yeah, I mean the creeps, right?
Yeah, the creeps who do it.
And to what we talked about earlier, right? You know, Mel and Joe Budden, right? And Mel keeps saying that, like, you know, who are we trying to protect women from, right?
Yeah.
And I was I'm just screaming, like, you know, the radio, like, you know, it's always a question of, women have to be protected from, you know, men. And it's like, women have to be protected from the creeps, right? But most of the time, the creeps are the men that we tell y'all to stay away from.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and then the second part is, it's like there is this notion that, you know, the Carol Baskins don't exist, right?
Oh,
like
facts.
women are equally as dangerous because they can't, you know, swing the axe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they influence the axe swinger. And that's just as bad, right? Like that's how Emmett Till was murdered, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He wasn't murdered because there was just a group of, you know, white men running around looking for somebody to murder. He was murdered because that was the day that a woman said to herself, I want to get a black guy killed.
Yeah. And so like, so when I'm watching the doc and they talking about the hotel thing, I'm thinking about me working in hotels and how that was the rule. Like, hey, in-room dining service, women, y'all can deliver. If you need to take somebody with you, take them with you.
Yes.
But and because something happened at our hotel and it was like that woman moved and then she eventually quit because she was just traumatized. But it was one of them things like that was for the ladies. But outside of that in-room dining, it was no ladies go to any rooms by themselves. Like that's one thing. So this woman going up to Kobe's room, no matter what happened, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
right?
The hotel policy would have been you need to go with somebody.
Yeah, because it was a dude there. She was talking to the dude before. Also, how do you feel? And the reason why I say I don't know what happened is because Kobe wrote her a letter that was kind of like damaging, like to the girl, and as an apology. And when you watch the doc, you be like, all right, nigga, your lawyer didn't tell you not to send this. But here I want to ask you, how do you feel about docs where the family is not included? His wife didn't want to be interviewed. His mom and sisters didn't want to be interviewed, but this whole doc came out.
It really does. It doesn't involve me unless someone trying to make it seem like I really know what I'm talking about. Like if you're reporting, that's cool. It's like, all right, you're not gonna talk to the family. But if you position it as in you're an authority, like I was there, you need to talk to people that was actually there.
Yeah.
So I can always tell when a doc is meant to be salacious or when it's meant to be informative.
Yeah, and it don't seem salacious at all.
Yeah.
It does seem sped up.
Yeah.
Of course, because he probably needs like a 5 to 8 part doc on himself. I mean, episode 1 and 2 is an hour, and we done 20 years of basketball career.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
The only thing I'm really curious about Kobe is like what happened between him and his dad and his mom.
And that's the thing. This doc came out. They didn't get the interview as that. His dad has passed.
Yeah.
And his mom didn't speak that. And that's what I want, because they touch on it.
Yeah.
And they touch on it a little bit, but enough for me to be like, at the end of that episode, that's when they said his mom and wife refused. And I was like, But once you watch it, I think you'll figure it out by episode 1. We should talk about that.
All right.
Because it's interesting. And I think it got a lot to do with Vanessa, got a lot, all that other stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty good doc. I'm going to watch episode 3 tonight since I can't watch nothing else since my wife out of town. What you got planned this week?
Not much, man. Hey, we'll be live tonight. Make sure y'all
Facts.
come in. Matter of fact, I need to drop it into the stories or whatever.
Yeah.
But come on. Tonight we're gonna talk about some career things, and then we'll just move into basically what the pod was like today.
What career things? Unemployment about to be up.
Yeah, so we need to work on resume right now. So that's probably take on the basis of that right now.
Do y'all still tell people their resume only need to be one page? Or has that always been bullshit?
No. I mean, no. It's like if you're a professional, it could be like 2 pages. It can really be 3 if it's really good and if it's really long. You got a 34-year career, but I'll be honest. I'd say 80% of recruiters control F. So if you don't, that last 20% are the great recruiters, but like most recruiters are not great. Most recruiters are control Fing your resume. So
I wonder what my resume. I'll put the podcast on my next resume.
yeah, so it's like you got it. Like whatever the job description is, that needs to be in your resume, like early on, because people are only spending 20 seconds on your resume. I'm probably being generous.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, if somebody got 300 applicants for a job, man, and it's one role to fill, bro.
I ain't got time.
Yeah, they're going to do a keyword search. They're going to pull all the resumes that got those keywords. And then they're going to, from those keywords, they're going to pull up other keywords. And they're going to keep sparsing it down until they have, like, maybe, 20, 30 resumes in front of them. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Yeah. Like, it's not as, not as hopeful and optimistic as you may think it is.
I bet. I believe. I tried to apply for a job like maybe 2 months ago, 2 months ago. And it was I could do this shit in my sleep. If I'm telling you I could do it in my sleep, it was a photographer position.
Oh, gosh.
But it was for a great company.
Yeah.
And I was just like, can I just call y'all and say, yo, I'm here?
The only way you can, so jobs like that, if you didn't get it and it's a job you like, reach out to the hiring manager, like whoever hired for the job.
Yeah.
If you can't find, like, just go through LinkedIn, find a hiring manager, add them, tell them like, hey, I know you filled this role.
Yeah.
This is who I am. This is my background. If something else opens up, let me know.
Okay.
The best time to get a job actually is after that job is closed.
Okay.
Because it sounds crazy. It's because chances are they're gonna have to rehire for that exact same role again. Because a lot of times we hire for people, they end up quitting or they can't hang.
Yeah.
But most of the time because when people apply for jobs, they apply for, they apply for 50 jobs.
Yeah.
So if it was another job that was better than the one that they got, they're gone 3 months later. So the best time to actually apply for a job, especially in this environment, is when you see a job close and it's the job you really want. Find who the recruiter is, find who the hiring manager is, add them on LinkedIn, stay in touch. You'll probably have that job in 6 months.
Okay. Reach out to them. Probably not, because they'll probably be off.
I need to start doing this more often then. So I gotta add this. I gotta add this. My bad.
We'll talk about this tonight at 9.
Yeah.
I mean 10, excuse me, 10.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, please. Oh, that worked for the West Coast.
Yeah, man. They get it early.
Hell yeah. Look, I want to thank y'all. I ain't doing nothing this weekend. If y'all see me running around crazy, it's because I got a baby and he is wild. He is wild.
I saw you had him on the he came out of the slide. He's like, I'm ready to go home.
Bruh.
Boy.
I'm like,
how you gonna tell me you ready to go after you like enough playing to the car driver.
And, yeah, and so I was like, all right, and he just ran there. It was so funny. It was his mom out there, and her daughter came up to me. Her daughter might have been like 2, and her daughter's trying to tell me she wanted to get on a thing. And for a split second, I was like, okay, I'll take you over there. And I'm like, this ain't my fucking kid. And then, of course, her mom is out there in a bonnet, some furry slides and socks.
Of course.
And so her mom came over there and was like, what's the problem?
Oh, Lord.
Nothing, my sweet African sister. And so, but I let her mom know like what she wanted. And she was like, oh, okay. And I think her mom kind of was just like, all right, maybe I overreacted. Because it's not like her daughter spoke good English. Like
Black queens forever.
Yeah, I was just
Snow
like,
bunny never.
Look. I just looked at her like, yo, I didn't turn to your kid. I didn't face your kid. Whatever. I ain't bothering.
That's what I'm gonna start saying for Umar. Baby mama forever. Wife never.
Look, basically, that's what we want. Look, man, we're going to holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.